I am dedicated to giving you 50 minutes of content a day.
I did so well. Yeah.
All you have to do is just like and follow. All right, so
$1 million.
D. So I want to double the D. So to be able to do that, probably gonna do it like that. Okay, that's what I'd most likely do. And then this D goes to E, not that D. This D goes to B, and that goes to. Now, does anyone see that there's a problem there? That I would redo that? Why would I not use that after I had done that? Dr. Franklin taught this in his class today because I told him he needed to teach it. Where do you see an octave?
D and D.
D and D?
Yeah.
How is that a direct octave?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, here's a D and here's a D. Direct is one of the words in the solution. Huh? Direct fit. Where?
Didn't do that, so there you go.
That's not how you spell fit, is it? One of those hashtags. I don't make hashtag jokes often. They're sort of.
That one's on camera.
When did Twitter come out? 2005 or 6 or something? That's
Somewhere in there.
that's when people really made hashtag jokes for a while.
Hashtag.
Hashtag hashish.
Hashtag hash browns.
Okay, so I got to fix that. Okay, how could this be fixed? Well, not like that.
You could double the D and move the B under the E.
Probably because he was one.
Whatever that was, probably not. Well, I could do that. Is that going to be a problem? Someone say yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No means tell me more.
It means yes and yes.
Yes.
I'm very confused how D is a fifth. You said it was direct fifths. It went from D to B. It's just the root to the fifth, is it not? In gunner chord.
I'm just gonna rewrite this so that I can explain it in visual terms.
Yeah.
If D goes to B, that's a direct fifth with the bass. That's the only kind of fifth we talk about. Direct fifth and octave only occurs between the soprano. I mean, it can occur between anything, but the only time it's forbidden or looked down upon is when it's between the soprano and the bass. Now the soprano, if it had moved by step, no direct fifth. But it doesn't matter what the bass does, is if it is in similar motion with the soprano and it forms a fifth or an octave, unless the soprano goes by step. Was that clear enough? Okay. So now the question is, if I do this, am I going to have a problem on the next beat? You say yes, and your answer is what? What's the problem if I double the A? That is in fact right. Parallel fits, which would be couldn't make that work. Okay? So that's probably not the right answer. Another thing that I could do is, oh my goodness, double the base. Now, what's going to happen if I double the base? Anything? Is this going to work?
I hope so, Brian, we're on page.
Yes is one answer of a binary system, no being the other.
Say yes.
No. Dang it.
If not yes, then
Maybe.
no. Are we all, are we all
No.
programmed, we program in C or C++?
What?
Computer programmers, none of us.
Nope. I can barely.
You know, when I was your age, we didn't have computers.
Really?
We did not. I mean, maybe there were some things they called computers,
Giant computers.
but I'll tell you a little story because I know you want to hear a story. A piece that I read in 2001 is going to be played in a few weeks or something. Anyway, I was thinking about it. That was the first piece that I ever worked on a personal computer. Before, and since then, every piece, every single piece, personal computer. Before that, Cray supercomputer, mainframe computer, EED synclavier, and before that, a Moog synthesizer with tape decks. So 2001, I used a beta version of Pro Tools for Windows, and one of the first versions of Fruity Loops, which was just now making a big deal in electronic dance music. Back then, it's like, it was Buzz and Fruity Loops. Some people only use Buzz, some people only use Fruity Loops.
I know, yeah.
Now they don't call it Fruity Loops because the cereal people sued them, and now they call it FL Studio or FL Producers. I still use it because it has very simple software samplers that I can, what I like to do with my music is find an object or a thought or something and then make a sound sample of it, like record it. That's what a sample is, to make a short recording, and then use that material to create all of the piece. Currently I'm doing a piece for vibraphone and that stuff. Now, what was the question? What's the problem with this one? What is going to happen if I do this? It doesn't necessarily have to be parallel fits. I'm not. No, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the next problem that's about to happen.
F to G sharp.
Huh?
F to G sharp. Could be augmented second.
That would be the theory term, yes. Augmented second. Wrong, wrong, wrong. But maybe not. Well, pretend this went to here. Now what you could have said was parallel octaves. Okay, what if the A goes to G sharp? Now I don't have an augmented
Oh,
second.
you were gonna.
Yeah, but what about the F? Huh? Parallel octaves.
I see what you're doing now. I thought you were gonna do E, G sharp, B, like B in the soprano, that's why.
Well,
I
then I
said-
have an augmented second.
Yeah, that's why.
All right, I see where you're going there.
Okay.
Now, that seems awkward, but what if I did this instead? I could, in fact, have that answer there.
That sounds wrong.
So to me, if I start on the C, this is my voicing. This is what I would do. Okay? All right, what did we not do? The E? How many did E? The guy left did E, right? You did E also? He was here for a little while. Okay. I think my voice exchange would now occur between alto and bass. Now, that's gonna probably be a D. And that's gonna be an A. What else am I gonna do? Okay, what if I double the A? Is there a problem if I double the A? Think! If I double the, let me explain further. If I double that note, is there going to be a problem on the next beat? Every head bowed, every eye closed, as the choir softly sings, is there going to be a problem?
Depends on what you do next.
Parallel fifth.
Oh, yes, the choir screams. Yes, it does depend on what I do next. But how many things can I do? Where can the D go? D could go to E. Somebody's got to go to G sharp, right?
Yeah.
One of the A's. Okay. Where does the other A go? B. And the D? The D? Is there a problem with doubling the A?
Are we allowed to double the fifth in this situation?
There, yes. In the 4/6 chord, really, you can double anything, but what this lecture is about is why you would or would not do that. This is, the point of the lecture is, why would you double the root as your first choice? Because it doesn't have nearly as many problems as all these other doublings. So, if I double the A here, is this wrong? Why?
Parallel fifth.
It's not fifths, is it? Where are the fifths? Show me the fifths. Parallel fourths, yes. Is that illegal?
No.
No. Immoral. There's more immoral than illegal things, I think. Okay, let me just say probably not the best choice. But not wrong. Whereas, okay, what are my other choices here? Here is a choicing. If I have that choicing, isn't that the most logical outcome? The next note is the most logical outcome? Yeah. Now what if I double this note? What is the next logical outcome? No. But you would have a direct fit, right? We've been over this already. That's a direct fit. Okay. So, ergo, for me, anyway, the answer is that. And the answer is Okie smoky. These are my thoughts on the quiz that we took today. Okay? What do I want from you? I want from you what I have. And that's that. The ability to think horizontally according to vertical constrictions. Or the ability to part right correctly every single time. Okay? Here's the point. What are we? We are self. What else are we? Musicians. Probably Dr. Let me pull somebody out of the wood. Probably Dr. Rivera allows non-perfection, yes?
I don't joke around.
Now, how about Dr. Wood? It's trumpet. It's not going to be perfect. It's just not. Now, French horn, about 90% perfect.
You just gotta show up.
If you can get 98% of the correct notes, you can be a professional trumpet player. Horn player, maybe 93% of the notes. Oboe player, you better hit them all. You better hit every one of them. Percussionist, ding! Got that orchestra gig. Okay. Now, you don't have to raise your hand. You just quietly leave. If make no motion at all. Were we all in the minor mode? Yes. Okay. It resolved 4-6-5, and was I out of the room long enough for y'all to affect that? I went out of the room to do something specific, but what happened was I talked to Dr. Franklin, who was very pleased to discuss the fact that he had discussed direct fifths and octaves in his class today. We had a little discussion a few weeks ago, and I'm like, you should go over direct fifths and octaves this semester with your 113 class. Okay, the other day we had another test, and I didn't count it, but I got completely confused. Big surprise, huh? Okay, so we have this, losing points. We had something that went sort of like that. Now, what I'd like to do is add 2 chords to this. The first is, I think one progression, what progresses to 2? 2 is a predominant, yes? What comes before a predominant? Yes, 1 can come before anything. Okay? It can't always follow anything that comes after it, i.e. 1 to 2 to 1. It's not really a progression, is it? What could come before 2, 6, 5? 1, like we have there, but let's go with something else. It is a predominant. What's another chord that could go to 2, 6, 5?
6.
In the back there?
6.
Yes, I think that's an excellent choice. So, 6 would be a A flat. All right. Now, pretendez that we wanted to do something in preparation to 6. What could that be? Well, 1, but what if we extended the thought of 1 into, now we're going to do something chromatic, a secondary function, i.e. 5 of 6 or 7 of 6. Okay? Can we understand that? Okay, or some inversion of that. So, what would 5 of 6 root be?
E flat.
E flat. Very good. Now, what if we did 565 of 6? What's my figured bass going to read?
6, 5.
Not mine. Not mine again. Can anybody spell a 565 of 6 chord? Like in your mind, even in root position, like A, F, C, G flat? No, that's not it. E flat, C sharp, no. E flat, G, B natural, no. B flat,
D flat.
what's that?
D flat.
D flat? And how would that be reflected in my figured bass? Your content's being a little sarcastic, I'm real sorry. How would that be reflected in your figured bass?
6 flat 5.
Yes, that is correct. That's what I was looking for. A minus sign or a flat sign, both acceptable there. I generally go with the flat sign. So I'm going to start here. And then, well, there's a couple things I could do here. I could keep the E flat, yes, and move the C to D flat. I kind of like that. But I also like the thought that this note's going to be a C if I make that note a D flat. So just, I know I don't talk about this much, but just melodically speaking, that kind of floats my boat. Okay, and we all need our boat floated occasionally. So that's going to be that. Very simple to resolve that. Yes. And then that. And then some other stuff. Stop it! Technically, that's gonna be a D natural, I don't have to mark it. It's only this D that remains flat, yes? Now my rhythm is a little bit janky. So what I wanna do, okay, there's my deception, yes. Now, what do I have to do here other than change the time signature? What makes the most sense? 2 dotted quarters? It's usually longer or shorter in 3/4 time in our common practice period. Now, are we all excited to hear? Questions about the extension of the 1 to 2 to 5 to 1 phrase by adding 2 other chords? Any questions there? Okay. Here's the next question. Let's add one more chord. Oops, somebody just got 27 points off on their quiz. Let's turn that into 2 beats. What's my next chord gonna be? Okay, what is 2-6-5? You should say it's a predominant. What's it going to? A dominant. So what can a predominant go to between it and a dominant? Another predominant. Okay. So what do we have else in our predominantness that would be chromatic at this point? Think of a really clever way to do that. No, I think we're keeping the 2 and then extending that before we get to the 5. So 2-6-5 is what it is. So, has suggested, East Side has suggested, would you like to be Southeast? You could be Southeast. Southeast has suggested a 5 of 5. My thought was, what would be a clever thing to insert there?
German.
Huh?
German.
No, I'm gonna put a 5 of 5 chord in there. I am. How could I cleverly do that?
Make it 5-6-5.
So what am I gonna do? What one thing am I gonna do what, never mind, let me show you what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm getting at. Now, wouldn't that just be groovy caves? We've got 265 moving to 565, a 5, right? Do I have to change any other notes there? Seemingly I do. Which note do I have to change? Exactement. What if I didn't? What chord would I have if I didn't change the A flat? Okay, wait.
German 6 chord. Or something like that. Some kind of augmented 6.
You're really quite correct there. I'll get back to that. Let me play the 565 first. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna leave it A flat. I kinda like that chord, if only someone could tell me what it was. What is the chord on the second beat? Whew. Time's almost up. Someone else will have to provide your
Is it
content.
French 6 chord?
Well,
Kind of.
Here's what I've got to say about this. If it were an augmented 6 chord, what would be in the bass? A flat. So, if you have a chord that is A flat, C, D, F sharp, it is in fact what you said before, a French 6th. Yes? So what inversion of a French 6th is this?
Root position.
I think D is the root, so I think it's in the 6-6-5 position. It's a French 6th in the 6-5 position. What is the French 6 normally in?
4-3.
Did you say 4-3? That's correct. All the others are in first inversion, the Italian and the German, but this is in second inversion. This now being in first inversion flips the notion of the outwardly resolving augmented 6 to an inwardly resolving diminished third. Okay? I think that's about as much fun as we're going to be able to have today. So, check your syllabus for what's due this week. I can't remember off the top of my
They
head.
gave it on Thursday.
Huh?
They gave it on Thursday.
Awesome. Just turn them all in on Thursday. Don't wait for the whole semester. Just do it. Well, that was what you're doing over the snow days, right? Flip it.
Stop it.